And that is just down the road on HBO.
He's the WBC welterweight champion of the world, ladies and gentlemen.
Introducing, in the blue corner, fighting out of Palmer Park, Maryland.
And he weighing no introduction the world over here, the undisputed world's welterweight boxing champion, the classy Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
That's the other way. 3-4 punches to the face now of Larry Barnes. Right above us once more. How about him and another right?
You're blowing it now, son. You're blowing it. You better be quicker. You got to take it away from him. Okay?
Burns has to tie him up or something. Now it's going for the whole boat. Hitting him with combinations. Running his giving everything he's got. Burns starts down the grab. And now goes down through the rope. Leonard hits. Burns just trying to hang on here. Left hand sends Burns back against the ropes again. And that's all. It's over.
Do your thing before this kid will fall apart. Do your own thing.
There's a right hand that fits a stack. So right back. Now Ray had a chance that time, I think, to follow up. Decided not to. Another right hand. And there is a booming right hand that puts Bruce Lynch down.
I'm hoping that we can get together in there and make this big money that we've been talking about.
Let's get this on the air.
About all over. And the people want to see it, Leonard. We don't want you to retire yet until you come at the marvelous one.
Okay,
It's got to be the big one, right?
That is the biggest one.
All right.
And if you make that comeback, you might wind up the greatest of all times.
And as I stand here, in 1 second, I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do. A fight with this great man, this great champion, could be one of the greatest fights in the history of boxing. Talking about money, you talk about Fort Knox. And this is the only man can make that possible. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. But unfortunately, it'll never happen. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome for the first time in the ring since February 15th, 1982, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yes, it's not a comeback, I'm back. It's just the actual challenge. And because I am healthy, and because I don't see myself as getting into the ring and jeopardizing anything, I've put the personal wealth aside. I mean, what I'm doing now is still something that is within me, the drive, the hunger of professional competition. I still have that.
So now, America's heartthrob is back in training, looking ahead to one of the most celebrated comebacks in the history of boxing. Sugar Ray Leonard has returned to dazzle the public and prove his prowess in the world of boxing.
I still love the thrill of winning. I love the challenge, the competition. I just hate to lose.
And now we present Sugar Ray Leonard's first test on the long road back. On Saturday, February 25th, the former welterweight and junior middleweight champion will fight Kevin Howard in his first trip to the ring in 2 years. That'll be live right here on HBO.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
1976 Olympic champion. The new champion, Sugar Ray Leonard.
It all began in the Montreal Olympics of '76. A flashy Sugar Ray Leonard took the gold and took the American public. A celebrated pro career followed. It brought fame, money, and ultimately the title. But America's heroes must also endure pain and suffering. Roberto Duran taught Sugar Ray Leonard a lesson in machismo. The title slipped away.
Duran says no. I think Duran quit.
You're blowing it now, son. You're blowing it.
It was a time of high drama, celebration, mystery, and tragedy. The now infamous words "no mas" will linger forever in our minds and haunt the triumph of Sugar Ray Leonard. And of course, there was the dramatic showdown with Thomas Hearns. With one eye shut, Leonard unified the title, and suddenly it seemed over.
The retina has to be reattached in order to function properly.
Why jeopardize my health, my eyes, for history? Hey guys, I'm back.
Tonight, the comeback begins on HBO. Leonard returns to the ring in a 10-round fight with Kevin Howard. It has been delayed and debated, but now a small New England city is the setting for one of boxing's most historic events. And we are live at the Centrum in Worcester, Massachusetts, as HBO Sports presents the comeback of Sugar Ray Leonard. Tonight, the former welterweight and junior middleweight champion returns to the ring in a 10-round fight with Kevin the Spoiler Howard. After 2 long years, a near-capacity crowd here at the Centrum and millions of spectators around the world anticipate the comeback of the most celebrated fighter in boxing today. It is high drama, not without its share of controversy. But tonight, the world watches an artist, Sugar Ray Leonard, given another opportunity to perform. Hello, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins, and tonight, the man who usually helps tell the story for HBO is the story. Sugar Ray Leonard will lace on the gloves for the first time in more than 2 years, and that doubles duty for our expert analyst here at HBO, Larry Merchant. Larry, let's talk a little bit about the fact that most conversation centers tonight around the event, not so much around the fight.
And that's understandable. Sugar Ray Leonard is a sort of Michael Jackson with 2 gloves instead of 1, and with muscles. He's a practically perfect prize fighter, a magical performer, with a magical personality to go along with it. But now suddenly he's also vulnerable. He has a flaw and a Achilles eye, and that makes him an even more compelling dramatic figure.
And of course the eye perhaps talked about even more than the event, which is being greatly talked about. Dr. Michaels, the ophthalmologist, world-renowned, has said that the mandate towards whether or not Sugar Ray Leonard returns to the ring will not be based on medical reasons.
Well, he is taking some risks. One, there's a risk to the eye, either tonight or at some times in the future. Another risk is to his reputation as a great fighter. He may not be as good after a 2-year layoff. Or tonight or in some future fight, he may turn out to be more cautious and overprotective toward the eye. But in the end, risk is in the eye of the beholder, really. And risk takers are people who can't live without risk. For them, life isn't worth living without risk, and I respect their right to take risk.
All right, I think we have to, of course, touch upon the other side of this event. That is Kevin the Spoiler Howard. I asked Ray Leonard how he arrived at having Howard as an opponent. He said, well, he was available.
I think he was handpicked because he was likely to give Ray Leonard something of a battle, but not likely to defeat him. I suspect that the outcome tonight will be spectacularly inconclusive.
And so we come to the comeback. A philosopher once said the 2 greatest foes of happiness are pain and boredom. Well, Sugar Ray Leonard has experienced both, and boredom was the worst. A.J. Liebling once wrote, "A fighter's hostilities are not turned inward. They come out naturally with his sweat. And when his job is done, he feels good because he has expressed himself." And today, the tradition of Liebling's The Sweet Science rests with a 27-year-old fighter aptly named Sugar Ray Leonard. His short career has transcribed a lifetime of memories, and now he makes a controversial return to the ring. The American public has focused its attention on Ray Leonard's eyes, desperately searching for answers. The trouble began a couple of weeks prior to the showdown with Thomas Hearns in September of '81. Sugar Ray's left eye was damaged in a Los Angeles gym.
I was injured in training prior to the fight. One of my sparring partners accidentally hit me with his elbow. I took off for a few days so that the swelling can go down, because there was even talk of postponing the fight. If you go back and review the tapes, you'll see before the fight even started, there was like a shiny area here. And Tommy just had it with his long arms. He tapped it a few times. He activated it. It blew up, and that was basically it. But to say he was one to give me that black eye or whatever, no. If it wasn't for the injury in training, I would have been clean completely.
After earning Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year honors, Sugar Ray set out to defend his undisputed welterweight title. On February 15th of 1982, Leonard knocked out an amateurish club fighter, Bruce Finch, in just 3 rounds, even though the champion claimed Finch hit him harder than any of his previous opponents. There was no apparent further damage to the left eye. But as he prepared for a second defense in May of '82 with Roger Stafford, tragedy struck. Ray began to see wiggly lines while training in Buffalo, and he returned to Johns Hopkins in Baltimore for surgery.
The retinal detachment is a condition in which the retina, which perceives the light in the back of the eye, becomes separated from the wall of the eye.
It was my hope that he would gain a full recovery, and as things turned out, that in fact happened, and in that eye the vision has returned to normal. And it's been my feeling that the eye is well healed and stable, and therefore he can make his career choices without those being mandated by medical necessity.
Back in November 1982, Sugar Ray Leonard's decision was to retire.
I must start off by saying to Dr. Ronald Michaels, thank you. You know why? Because very few people get a second chance. It was so easy because to say, well, I'll prove I'm different. I'll walk away from the ring. But in doing so, I was not satisfying myself. And I really feel that I have to satisfy Ray Leonard before I satisfy my fans or family or friends.
Well, Ray Leonard, let me ask you your impression. After 2 years of building a career as a commentator for HBO and CBS, Sugar Ray Leonard found that a ringside announce position just couldn't measure up to a stool in the corner or a flurry in the middle of the ring. He had his $40 million in ring earnings tucked away, and indeed his role as a celebrity continued without his activities as a boxer.
Which one of these?
But Sugar Ray Leonard was a boxing analyst whose body and mind were in the prime of condition. The sedentary life was soon to be a thing of the past. Ray Leonard thirsted for a comeback.
I was getting bored. I really was. And at times when I would state that, hey, I feel great, I'm happy, I was psyching myself. But you can't fool yourself. That's so difficult. It's so hard to do.
So on December 10th, 1983, Sugar Ray Leonard called a press conference after a boxing exhibition and made the announcement.
It's not a comeback, I'm back.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome for the first time in the ring since February 15th, 1982, Sugar Ray Leonard.
And with my mind still geared to get in shape, everything is working together. So why not do it full time? Get it all out at one time instead of waiting until I get 35, 40 and say, what would have happened if? I don't want to be that way.
On February 25th, Sugar Ray Leonard was scheduled to meet Kevin Howard after 2 years of inactivity. But once again, eye trouble threw his career into doubt. While being checked by Dr. Edward Ryan at the request of the Massachusetts Boxing Commission, perforations were diagnosed in Ray's right eye. Dr. Ryan performed a treatment in his office.
It was noted that he did have small retinal tears in his right eye. It was felt that these should be treated prophylactically or as a preventative measure with freezing. And we did that in order to scar these tears down, produce an adhesion in that area of the retina such that fluid could not go through or percolate through these tears and produce a retinal detachment.
I did a lot of soul searching. I did a lot of questioning.
Abnormal areas had been noted previously during our examinations here, but were not thought to represent a threat. Mr. Leonard has been under periodic examinations here since his surgery in 1982. When seen by Dr. Ryan, it was felt that the areas in the right eye had deteriorated and that it was necessary to treat them.
As the days went by, and even at home, my visits with Dr. Michaels, my questions were easily answered because I didn't continue to believe what I was reading or seeing or hearing on television. I believed my doctor
Dr. Ryan and I are in agreement that Mr. Leonard should be permitted to resume his boxing career.
So now, Sugar Ray Leonard faces a new challenge. Millions of Americans are wondering why a wealthy young man would risk the precious sense of sight to achieve a historical greatness many believe he has already recorded. The answers may lie in the continuity of a boxer's instincts. The risk of injury never dies. When Sugar Ray Leonard was growing up in this modest home on what has become Ray Leonard Road, he knew the dangers of fists as a weapon. Yet he took that chance to obtain Olympic glory and fame as a budding professional. He used his inbred talents to master his opponents and perform for his loyal followers. That public adoration paid for a new home in Palmer Park, which housed new dreams and new hopes. Dreams that were realized on November 30th of 1979, when Sugar Ray stopped Wilfred Benitez to win the WBC welterweight title. And yes, many Americans felt the bitter loss to Roberto Duran with the same pain as Sugar Ray Leonard. In order to achieve greatness, you must risk failure. And so he struggled through the mixed emotions of no mas, recapturing the crown. And he reached the pinnacle of success with an injured eye, forewarning the perils to come. He has earned the spoils of victory by achieving his past greatness with an element of risk. Today, he lives in a new home, and now there are new challenges and new dangers. And again, we have to ask, why?
Some of my fans are overprotective and really concerned. I love them for that. But I'm sure now they understand that I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing something from the heart, not for any financial reasons. I think if it was for those apparent reasons of finances, then I could see them opposed to the idea. As far as them saying, well, he's gonna get hurt. I've never been hurt in the ring, never been hurt in the ring. I think people, fans, have become really a part of me, and I've become a part of them. I think that's the reason. And again, I love them for it, but I have to love myself first.
So coming up, it is the comeback of Sugar Ray Leonard after more than 2 years against Kevin, the Spoiler, Howard. Well, you heard Sugar Ray Leonard talk about the people he loved, the people close to him, nobody closer than this lady. She is Juanita Leonard, 8 months pregnant, carrying what Sugar Ray hopes is yet another boy. He has one already, and here's a look at him. That is Ray Leonard Jr. Wants to be a football player, not too interested in the sport that his father has chosen. Juanita Leonard, of course, going along with the decision made by her husband, Ray Leonard, not exactly to her joy. And does he look like his daddy? Sugar Ray Leonard Jr. Well, it is a multi-sided affair here in Worcester, as we've talked about already. And here, with yet another look at another angle, is Larry Merchant.
The last big major event that happened in jolly old Worcester, Massachusetts, was near the turn of the century when Sigmund Freud made his only appearances and lectures here at Clark University. So I've been musing this week about what he would have thought about all this, and now I realize I've already told you. It was he who first said that life may not be worth living without risk. Sugar Ray Leonard is taking the risk, but he is trying to minimize it. Trying to minimize it by insisting that all of his prize fights in the future will be held with these thumbless gloves. As you can see, the thumb is sewn to the rest of the glove. Most fight injuries have occurred, injuries to the eye have occurred when an inadvertent or deliberate thumb lands in the eye. So, 100 years from now, Ray Leonard may be known as the man who popularized the thumbless glove. Although I'll tell you, it'll never be popular with television announcers. You can't hold a mic with it. We're going back in another part of history right now to the designated victims of 2 Sugar Rays.
Sugar Ray Robinson, what a boxer. Welterweight champ, middleweight champ. He was the greatest. I myself used to fight as a middleweight. I could either box or fight aggressive, depending on my opponent. Well, in 1952, Sugar Ray failed to win the light heavyweight title. He announced his retirement and sought a career of song and dance. I can still remember almost 30 years ago when Robinson decided to come back, and me, Joe Rendon, was picked to be his opponent.
You know, some boxers can fight their entire career and never get a break. It is not a very easy life, especially if you grew up in North Philly like I did. Every day I go to the gym, and every day I work towards a future. I guess you could say that my boxing career has had its ups and downs. The highlights thus far would be in '82, when I fought one of the top welterweight prospects, Bobby Joe Young. It was a very tough fight. Young had actually punched my teeth through my lower lip, but I still came back to win a 10-round decision. Maybe that's why they call me the Sport. Well, in '83, things did not go as well. Of my 4 fights, I won 2 and lost 2. One of my losses was to Marlon Storm. It was a pretty depressing time, and I must admit I had thoughts of quitting. But later in '83, my dream came true. Sugar Ray Leonard decided to come back, and I, Kevin the Spoiler Howard, was picked to be his opponent. As you know, the fight was postponed. In order to stay sharp, I took on Bill Bradley. In the 6th round, the referee stopped the fight. And now I look towards the biggest opportunity of my career. To be picked as an opponent of a great champion coming back is something very few boxers have ever experienced. It's like a dream come true for me to fight Sugar Ray Leonard. Is it like a dream come true for you when you fought Robinson?
It was the greatest thing that ever happened, the chance of a lifetime. It was beautiful. And that gave me a little incentive in life of fighting the greatest fighter in the world today, in my day. And I loved it. You, Kevin, 30 years ago, the pressure is just like it is today.
Yeah, Joe, the pressure is a lot. I can't sleep, public all the time, phone ringing all the time, and constantly all I'm thinking is about is fight, fight, fight. You know, everywhere I go, I hear about it.
Well, you just gotta learn to live with it. You go somewhere and relax. Go by yourself somewhere, take a walk, just get away from conversation. In my day, we didn't have the thumbless glove. How do you feel about it today?
Well, the thumbless gloves, Joe, is a thing that Leonard wanted for the protection of him and the other fighters. You know, had to get used to them, had a little trouble, because when you put your hands in the thumbless glove, it's firm. And the other gloves, you had a little movement. But the thumbless, you don't have no kind of movement. Your hand sits in a certain position where you either ball it up or you leave it open. But if you leave it open, your thumb don't move. If you ball it open, your thumb still don't move. So the thumbless glove is very, you know, difficult to get adjusted to.
Can I ask you, Kevin, which one would you prefer?
Well, the way things is now, it wouldn't make me no difference.
No difference, see?
Well, Joe, I appreciate you taking the time to fly over here and give me a few pointers, but not too many people had the opportunity that me and you had.
It's my pleasure being here, pal. As you know, Sugar Ray knocked me out in 6. You're going to make up for that, pal.
Most definitely.
Good luck to you.
And you have a safe trip back here.
Good luck.
All right, thanks for coming, Joe.
Good luck.
Larry Merchant, you were talking about what Sigmund Freud would think of the thumbless glove. Think of it as a Freudian slap. And here comes Kevin Howard into the ring right now. His last fight, as you can see, a 6th-round technical knockout over Bill Bradley. Not, of course, the United States Senator, but rather the boxer. In fact, it was a fight that he was criticized for taking because all the people around him thought that if he were to lose that fight, of course, he would lose the opportunity for a big payday here against Sugar Ray Leonard. Well, he's a tough Philadelphia fighter, and they don't get any tougher than that. That shows the confidence he had in himself. He said, Ray Leonard may think of me as a stepping stone, but remember, stepping stones don't break. As a matter of fact, he assessed his own chances realistically, he said, at 50-50. Interesting note, too, about his name, The Spoiler. It might not be quite what you think. It was because he was going to have a fight on a card where everybody else quit on him.
And so the result was that the promoter came over to him and said, well, you really spoiled my night. Ergo, Kevin the Spoiler Howard, who has won 20 fights, lost just the 4. He had the 1 draw. There has been a criticism of him in the past, prior to this, that he didn't like to go into the gym too much.
Well, that may also be a mark of some Philadelphia fighters. But I think this fight has gotten his attention. He seems to be in very good shape. Obviously, this is the biggest fight of his life, and you don't know how he will respond emotionally to all of the furor around this scene.
And coming out of the locker room now, and he is all business and has been all day today. Sugar Ray Leonard, very serious. He's been relaxed serious, if you can be that. Actually has vacillated between being very stern and very businesslike, and in the next moment he'll pick up James Anderson, who is his security man, on whose shoulder Ray rests his left hand. Picked up James Anderson's little boy today and was playing with him and seemed very, very relaxed. Right now, Ray Leonard looks very much as he did in his last fight with Tommy Hearns. The crowd reacts. The one loss, of course, to Roberto Duran. Leonard not playing any games with Kevin Howard. He has not even really acknowledged Howard's presence, and Howard, perhaps wisely, as Ray now goes over and shakes his hand, Howard gives the spotlight to the man of the hour. The numbers on this fight, not particularly startling, with one possible exception, and that is the weight that Sugar Ray Leonard came in at, 149. Larry, did it surprise you that he was as light as he is?
No, he's the most natural welterweight I've ever seen. They keep talking about building him up toward middleweight, but I think when he fights at 151 pounds, that's about the outside of it.
And Ray Leonard coming in, of course, very warm, and there is the only common opponent of these two, and they had a common result. Dick Eklund beaten by both men in a decision. This, as we mentioned, is perhaps even more of an event than it is a boxing match. And to that end, this broadcast is being carried all over the world, from Bermuda to El Salvador, many South American and Central American countries, and of course the Super Channel carrying it up in Canada.
Unfortunately, the Russians and East Europeans have boycotted this event.
Right now, let's go up to the ring announcer, Arnold Dean, and the introductions.
The color guard for tonight's main bout is being provided by members of the instructor staff of the 25th Marine Regiment in Worcester, Massachusetts. The officer in charge is Captain D.A. Bethel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to rise for our national anthem to be sung by Sandra Leonard Petty.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the
Well, Ray Leonard's sister brought the house down. The opera doesn't start till the skinny lady sings.
KO Incorporated, Dan Doyle, president. It will be conducted under rules of the Massachusetts State Boxing Commission. The chairman is Tom Rawson. We'd like to welcome to the ring at this time some notable boxing champions, ladies and gentlemen. The WBA welterweight champ, the man they call the Lone Star Cobra, Donald Curry. Donald Curry. The IBF junior welterweight champion, Aaron Pryor. Aaron Pryor. And New England's own, the undisputed middleweight boxing champion of the world, marvelous Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler.
Well, I can tell you who won the popularity contest here. Should point out that Marvin Hagler, before this fight, was in the locker room of Sugar Ray Leonard, went over, said good luck to him. And he is number one in the hearts of the fans here in Massachusetts, to be sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges. The judges for tonight's fight, George D. Filippo and David Samatero. The ring doctors are Roger Moore and A.P. Blumenthal. The timekeeper, Mauro Consiglio. The knockdown timekeeper, William Campanale. And the referee will be Richard Flaherty.
And Richard Flaherty,
introducing the
will be
for tonight's
a voting
main event,
official.
the featured fight of 10 rounds. Introducing first, in the blue and white trunks from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at 150½ pounds. A record of 20 wins, including 11 KOs, 4 losses and a draw. Kevin Howard. Kevin Howard.
Howard will be making $100,000 for this fight. By far the most money he has ever made.
Trunks. He weighed in at 149 pounds. With a record of 32 wins, 23 by KO, 1 loss. From Palmer Park, Maryland, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Familiar bow that has been a part of the repertoire since the Olympic Games of '76.
Be required to take an 8-count, man scoring the knockdown, go to the corner that I send you to, don't come back out till I wave you in the center of the ring. You get in close and you're tied up and I say break, I want you both to stop punching and both of you step back. This is 10 rounds, you come out boxing in each round. Any questions? Fine. Good luck.
I guarantee you that Ray Leonard is nervous. He said before this fight it was like starting his professional career all over again.
A couple of notes on the rules. There is a standing 8 count, and a fighter can, repeat, can be saved by the bell. Pre-knockdown rule is waived. Round 1 of the comeback. must say, a little bit lonely here at the broadcast table.
Howard immediately goes on the offensive. The plan is to keep Leonard backing up so that he can't punch effectively.
And Leonard going side to side early on. This has been a dance so far. And a sharp right hand.
And it was thrown with mean intentions.
Ray Leonard seemingly at least bigger in the biceps, bigger in the shoulders than he was, and maybe even a little bit bigger in the thighs.
I think Ray would be too anxious to carry a fighter. As soon as he sees an opening, I think he'll go for it.
Yeah, I'm almost certain that is right. We've had a couple of chances to talk in the last couple of days, and that is what he implied. Halfway through the first round.
Nice body shot by Howard.
Howard has been and can be effective to the body. Largely a round so far of look and see for Sugar Ray Leonard.
I think Ray Leonard is just using this first round, obviously, to measure his opponent, to get the geometry between them, to see how quick Howard is, whether he leaves himself open when he lunges in, as he just did.
And Howard just did. And Ray Leonard has thrown about 5 punches in this round, and they've all scored heavily.
Get back, Ray. Quick! Let him out.
Combination, the right hand getting in pretty well at the bell. Howard looks back in disdain.
Howard certainly didn't seem awed by Ray Leonard.
Think about it, okay?
It's easy to go to him.
Very good. Yeah, it's easy. Take it to him and slide on it. Go right at it and slide, okay? You know what to do.
Let's see what we can hear from Kevin Howard's camp. Feint one and jab. Kevin Howard has 3 brothers who were fighters, so he's probably been fighting since he's 4 years old.
Fighting family. And now the nerves, I think, on both sides, in both corners, have subsided a bit. We talked about the nerves with Sugar Ray Leonard. Certainly they were there for Kevin Howard in the first round as well. Very calm in the corner of Sugar Ray Leonard. Likewise in the corner of Kevin the Spoiler Howard.
Is being what I would call deliberately aggressive, picking his spots to lunge inward.
I don't think this is a case so much of both men being particularly cautious. It is, as Larry alluded to, pretty much a case of picking spots here.
It should have. Leonard got the better of that exchange. Sugar Ray Leonard right at the moment looking, it seems, for counterpunching opportunities. Long right hand. Into the kidneys.
You'll notice that when Ray Leonard punches, Howard is prepared to punch back immediately. That's a sign of a fighter who's been active. Whereas Ray, when Howard is punching at him, is being a little bit more tentative. He's backing off. He's waiting for a clearer shot. Perhaps that's ring rust, and perhaps he'll get rid of it quickly.
That was about a 5-punch combination. 3 of them landed. Howard does not appear hurt. Round 2.
Keep him turning, speed.
Actually, Larry, not a bad round for Howard.
I gave Howard that round. Angelo Dundee, perhaps the best-known trainer
Nice and smart.
in the world.
Smart. Pump. Don't fight with the guy. Keep him turning, make him miss, then nail him. Okay, very good.
Let's take a look at Howard as he lunges in. And there, he surprised Leonard with an uppercut right hand to the chin. Howard is a cagey Philadelphia fighter. He is not in awe of Sugar Ray Leonard at all. I think that in choosing an opponent of this caliber, they did a heck of a job of finding somebody to test Leonard a little bit.
I absolutely agree with you. He does not seem odd about Leonard. It might have been a case of nerves in the first round. He seemed very calm. He's not taking needless chances. In Sugar Ray Leonard's corner, Angelo Dundee again advising him to look for the counter-punching possibilities, which he was doing in the second round. He had one, about a 5-punch flurry, and it wasn't particularly sharp.
There you see again, as soon as Ray Leonard flicks out a punch, Howard retaliates. He doesn't always land, but he retaliates.
Good combination by Leonard there. Downstairs first and then up with the left of the chin. Neither man has been hurt. Working downstairs now.
Movement, movement, movement.
Again, a combination. Leonard clowning with Howard a little bit now. It is a confidence, and now the dance. So it is obvious that Leonard doesn't feel that Howard can hurt him, but can he retaliate? Trying to coax Howard into making a careless mistake, and Howard's not having any of it.
It's a sign that Ray is feeling a little bit better about being into this fight, but so far he hasn't done much about it.
however, does seem to be getting much more into the rhythm of the sport, if not the fight. Remember, he has not been in a ring on a competitive level for 2 years. And they stare at each other. Howard says, "You haven't got me hurt." And Howard mimicking Ray Leonard with arms up on the way back to the corner.
This is what's called a body language end to the round. They both stare at each other. Leonard says there's more of that. Howard says more of what?
Right hand over top. If you go with the right hand leading the body, go with the hook over top.
Give him a ring. And what you're doing, you're straightening up a little bit now. Don't straighten up. You got to stay down to stay out of danger territory. You threw a right uppercut, and you caught it right on your arm. So
Marvin Hagler. I wonder if he thinks that Ray Leonard's ready for him yet.
Steady, steady. Feign him, move him, slide on him, everything. Show him. Show him how far back y'all do. Any of things.
This is the 4th round. We talked about the fact that Sugar Ray Leonard obviously thinks that Kevin Howard can't hurt him. I'm not sure, but that isn't a two-way street. At least in the mind of Kevin Howard.
Keep him turning, keep him turning. Keep him turning, keep him turning.
Kevin Howard's corner, you might have heard, telling him to stay down, stay out of harm's way. And there was a good combination by Leonard, and that definitely did hurt Kevin Howard.
No, wait, Sam, no, wait. Be there, don't be there.
Sugar Ray Leonard now trying to stay a little bit more on top of his man. That was a good left hand by Howard.
Speed, now speed, champ.
And Howard a combination.
Doubled up on the left hook. Philadelphia is a left hook town.
Speed, now speed.
Halfway through the 4th round. And a little bit more caution now from Sugar Ray Leonard. He started to get on top of Kevin Howard. Now he again goes to fighting at a distance and trying to cut the ring on him.
Howard is being a bit of a puzzlement to Ray. He's not coming straight at him as perhaps it was advertised. He's been reckless in a lot of fights. Good right hand that Leonard slipped over his left there. The best fight of the punch. The best punch of the fight, too.
Either way it was. I have the feeling, to tell you the truth, that Sugar Ray Leonard right now feels he's got Kevin Howard in his pocket. There's a swelling under the left eye now of Kevin Howard. And I really believe that Sugar Ray Leonard right now thinks he can take him at any time, and a right hand from Kevin Howard puts Sugar Ray Leonard right on the seat of his pants. I think you have to say I was right. I think Ray did think that.
Ray started to become more aggressive, tried to land something big and got a little bit reckless and left himself open, and Howard hit him square on the jaw.
And now it is for Howard, who gets another left hand in. And another left hand, and Ray is hurt. This crowd is really alive, and a big round for Kevin Howard.
Well, maybe they picked too tough an opponent.
Shouldn't be there. I don't want you there when he comes at you. I want you sliding. And don't trade shots.
Let's take a look at that knockdown again. As you see, Leonard is coming right straight at him and catches a right square on the jaw. And there it is from our satellite camera, 23,000 miles above the Centrum here in Worcester. A straight right hand. He couldn't have been more shocked. And then when he got up, he was embarrassed, and he sort of gave a little wave of his glove as if to tip his hat to him. knows what it's like to be back in a fight now.
That motion was to Juanita Leonard, and Ray is saying, I'm going to get you. And Kevin Howard is saying, give me your best shot. And Howard starts out aggressively.
I believe that was the first time in his career that Leonard was down.
And in fact, that was the first time Ray Leonard has been down. A good clean shot from Kevin Howard. He did look to Juanita Leonard, say, I'm okay. But so far it is still Howard here pressing the action.
Earlier, you remember I said that one of the risks that Ray Leonard was taking was that he simply wouldn't be the same fighter that he was 2.5 years ago. Right now, he isn't.
I can't help but wonder, though, if it's not just a case of being perhaps a little bit too cocky. I started to say just before the knockdown, I really think in Ray's mind that he thought he had him, and he just got careless.
I think he had thought that he had finally measured him, finally figured out all of his movements, and that he could seize the offensive. Only he got seized by the offensive.
Good counterpunch by Kevin Howard.
Once again, you see, as soon as Ray Leonard lets something go, if Howard's within punching room, he fires right back. A sign of a real professional fighter.
Howard is actually pressing this fight right at the moment. And it's almost as though Sugar Ray Leonard is asking himself what he needs to do against what he knows is an inferior opponent. Howard hammering the right hand. He was a little bit short with most of it. But not with the left hand. And again, Howard got the better of the exchange.
All right, watch your holding.
Leonard, a left hand to the body, a right hand to the head. Leonard trying to go downstairs and then bring it up. He's missing to the head, scoring to the body. Effective body punches and a good right hand that time. And Howard slips out of the grasp of Leonard and scores with a right hand.
Bring him up.
Leonard is now into a rhythm here. Howard is keeping his gloves high, and Leonard is going very effectively to the body. That was a good round for Leonard, coming off of the first knockdown of his career.
Take deep breath. Don't let him get on the side. You drop your arm down. Drop your arm down. Take deep breath. Okay? Get on the side. Don't get right in.
Marvin Hagler is probably more excited inside than any man in this building or this country. A fight like this, to this point, certainly has to give Leonard and his camp some pause about going in against Hagler in his next fight, as has been discussed.
I was just going to say, I'm sure that Marvin Hagler is sitting there hoping that this fight was a lot more one-sided than it has been.
One of the things we have to watch for now, Barry, is the possibility of fatigue. If this is a tough fight for another couple of rounds, Ray Leonard hasn't been in a tough fight like this in an awful long time, and it could tell.
Still a little puffiness underneath and alongside the left eye of Kevin Howard. Sugar Ray Leonard at the moment not visibly marked at all. There's a point to make here, however, about fighters, and it's a rather sad note, actually, about fighters coming back from retina surgery. Maurice Hope had surgery, went back in the ring, and retired after one fight. Hilmer Kinty had a detached retina in 1981. 1 year later, he came back and retired after the first fight. Jorge Ayumada, a detached retina, successful surgery. His manager urged him to retire. He had one more fight, was hit once, and did not fight again. Johnny Pearsall, who was a very good light heavyweight prospect, waited 1 year, had a comeback, saw a double, and stopped his career. Harold Weston was beating Tommy Hearns when he saw a light splash. That was after a retina operation, and he retired. Those are the people that preceded Sugar Ray Leonard into the ring after retinal surgery.
So far, we really honestly can't say that we've noted him overprotecting the eye. He hasn't really been hit many times there at all.
Sugar Ray Leonard working on Howard now with the jab, and I think you're right, Larry. Sugar Ray is in something of a rhythm right now, although he took a left hand. And Sugar Ray Leonard is bothering Kevin Howard right now. Not damaging punches, but pesky.
What this kind of tactic can do is to frustrate Howard, and perhaps he would open himself up for a bigger punch.
Leonard trying to come over with the right hand, was short.
This may have started out to be an event, but it's a fight now.
Come back with left hooks. Got it now? You're better off working on your hook. Speed, work on your hook. Hit the right hand. Unless you bury it to the body, come back with a hook. Come on, deep breath. Come on, Ray. The guy's not a nice.
There is a look.
There you see the thumbless glove.
Okay. Deep breath.
A lot of people are saying that it could be really restricting on your hand over a period of 10 or 15 rounds.
They've had success with it in New York, where for several years it's been mandatory for preliminary fighters and in small fights. There hasn't been a single retinal detachment or serious eye injury since they were used.
And so we come to the 7th round. Remember, this is a 10-rounder. And Kevin Howard comes out quickly.
Kevin Howard can still win this fight, obviously, but already he has scored something of a triumph. Russell Peltz, his promoter from Philadelphia and Atlantic City, said if he went 6 rounds, it would up his price. He would suddenly become a viable opponent for other named welterweights. He's making the most of his opportunity.
Actually, there's a little bit of redness on the cheek of Sugar Ray Leonard. Doesn't appear to be swollen very much, and I doubt very much that it would cause him any problem at all. Angelo Dundee trying to tell Sugar Ray Leonard to go to the body and then come back with the hook. And so far here in this round, Leonard has been unable to do so. Leonard's timing is a little bit off, to be sure. Leonard, an uppercut.
Angelo Dundee yelling for him to go to the body. Suddenly he's flat-footed this round, Leonard, after being on his toes through much of the last round.
Bring him up, bring him up.
Once again, he appears ready to try to land something very heavy.
And he took a right hand. I think his foot slipped from under him more than he was hurt. And there was a little swelling on the right cheek of Sugar Ray Leonard. men seem to have slowed a step here. Three-punch combination, 2 to the body and the left hand to the chin. And there was a good right hand by Leonard. Once more, Kevin Howard quick with a counterpunch.
Interestingly enough, that was perhaps Leonard's best right hand of the fight, and Howard didn't even blink.
All of the camp followers of Sugar Ray Leonard have been saying that he appears to be a lot stronger now than he was before the retirement. So far, that has not been borne out. There was another good right hand. That's slowed Kevin Howard for a moment. Howard still right in his face. Exchange of left hands.
Once again, Leonard appears to think that he has Howard measured.
Okay. And they are jaw to jaw once more. Gamesmanship.
Okay, I got getting up a little too high, okay? Okay, baby? Okay.
Get down a little bit. When you cross, you can step into him good. Lean him sometimes when he leans to his right. See, when he leans to his right, you go to with the left hand and back to the right. That's swing him up.
More?
Not yet.
Let's see if we can catch a view of a good combination that Leonard landed in that round. There you see him spinning away from a right hand. There's a right hand flush on the jaw. And Howard is still coming.
Go to work. Get up, Ray. Get up, Ray. When he misses, make him pay.
Well, Angelo Dundee is still talking counter punches. He said when he misses, make him pay. Leonard came out with a quick left hand to start the 8th round. Conditioning is going to be a factor in this fight. This is not yet a gimme for Sugar Ray Leonard.
Keep it turning. Dig now, dig in now. Dig. Dig. Come on.
It isn't a gimme, but if he does go on to win, it will tell Ray Leonard exactly where he is and what he has to do in the future to get back to being the Ray Leonard we remember.
It's been a very, very good test. Howard continues on the attack in Leonard's face. Leonard stepped away with a left hand, got out of there. 2 minutes to go. Leonard, a good body shot that time, and that did hurt Kevin Howard. But Howard's still right in his face. A little bit of blood showing now on the cheek of Sugar Ray Leonard. Again, it's below the eye, on the cheek.
And remember, it was the left eye of Ray Leonard that had the detached retina. The right eye also was treated, but that's not where the real problem is, or was. Ray still has confidence in his quickness, as you can see from how low he holds his hands, trying to bait Howard into making a mistake.
That combination was caught in the gloves of Kevin Howard. A right hand by Howard actually backed Leonard up against the ropes. A left hand by Leonard to get off the ropes. Again, Howard right on top of him, and a combination by Howard. Leonard standing flat-footed about a foot from the rope. Winding down near the end of the 8th round. Another good body shot. You can see Kevin Howard wince.
I don't think I've ever seen or can remember Leonard with such a devastating body attack.
And there's a great combination by Leonard. All of those punches scoring, and still Kevin Howard stays in there at the bell.
Okay. And that was a result of that body attack. He finally brought down his guard.
Where's this spitball? I had nothing? No. Yeah, but you come up here, people start wondering. I don't want that. Hell.
There's Leonard going to work with a fierce combination, those quick hands that have marked Ray Leonard since the '76 Olympics.
Right? Good, okay. Let's go to work. Come on, where's your speed? Show me your speed.
About every round that Howard goes now is worth about $10,000 as an opponent in the future for the likes of Donald Curry and McCrory.
He has already guaranteed himself that, I think. Good night for Kevin Howard. He comes to the attack now. Still a reddening on the cheek, underneath the right eye of Sugar Ray Leonard. It, again, is causing him no problem.
We're all here to see Ray Leonard, but I have to say I just love what Kevin Howard is doing here tonight. A lot of people get opportunities in life, and few of them take advantage of them, and he's given everything he's got.
Well, we touched on it earlier that he's a guy who never really particularly liked his time in the gym. He put his time in this time, and it really is bearing fruit. Is still right there in Sugar Ray Leonard's face.
Looks like a miniature Joe Frazier in his facial aspects and what he's trying to do.
I think it's obvious, if nothing else, Kevin Howard has earned the respect of Sugar Ray Leonard. Every time it looked like Leonard was confident he was going to take his man away. One time he wound up on the seat of his pants, and the other time Howard didn't take a step back.
Imagine Ray Leonard is wondering what is holding Howard up.
Howard has never been knocked out. He has been down a couple of times.
Regardless of the outcome, when Kevin Howard goes home to West Philadelphia, North Philadelphia, and South Philadelphia, he'll be a hero.
And there was a left hand, and Kevin Howard is about done here. Leonard knows it, and he is on top of Howard, trying to hold on to Leonard just to stay up.
Watch it go. Watch it go. There's 1 minute to go in the round.
There was a left hand and a sharp right. Howard held on just enough to stay up. Howard's in a whole lot of trouble here. Leonard stays on his man. Steps away from him when he gets on the ropes, and Howard's looking for a place to fall.
That's it.
And the fight is over, and Sugar Ray Leonard has won it. Kevin Howard wanted to go the distance. 2:27.
Before I go into the ring, I want to say I think the referee stopped the fight prematurely. Kevin Howard is an experienced fighter. He was maintaining his upright position. He was surely hurt, but as a professional fighter, he deserved to get his chance to last out that round.
And the crowd agrees with Larry Merchant, so do I. Randy Gordon sitting at the table with us, the editor of Ring Magazine, also concurs, and we have about a unanimous decision on that anyway. There were 33 seconds remaining, and Kevin Howard was showing an ability to at least hang in there. He is a seasoned professional. Fought his heart out. So did this man, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Larry, 228. 228.
Time has been corrected by a second to 2:28 of the 9th round. And it was a dead game, Kevin Howard, who came to fight tonight. Sugar Ray Leonard said he wanted a test. He wanted a guy who was going to make him work. And I'm not really sure he wanted a guy who was going to make him work quite as much as this man. Let's take a look at just how the end wound down. There was no question but that Kevin Howard was hurt, and he was hurt with a stinging punch. There it is, a left hand, and Kevin Howard was about to go down at that point. Now he holds on, and Sugar Ray Leonard was just looking to push him off and let him fall down, but Howard grasped him around the waist. And Leonard, in fact, I thought I saw Leonard wince in pain for a minute. It might have even hurt his knee. You can see right there. Finally, Sugar Ray Leonard pushed him away, and that at least allowed Kevin Howard a moment. Now let's take a look at the end. Once more, Kevin Howard in trouble and staggering, but knowing that he's got the ropes behind him, trying to get to the ropes. Now he tries to hold on again, and the referee, Flaherty, tries to step in, still having trouble separating him, says that's it, and the fight is over. There were 32 seconds remaining. Let's take another look at the end. Kevin Howard at least had the presence of mind to try to grasp on to Sugar Ray Leonard and at least stay in an upright position. You can see the referee looking in. Incidentally, Flaherty has refereed fights of this caliber. He has in fact refereed a Sugar Ray Leonard fight before, and I would have to agree that it was a bit premature. 32 seconds remaining in the round. Perhaps you might have a different opinion if it were a little bit earlier in the round. Let's get to the ring announcer now, Arnold Dean, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time at 2 minutes and 28 seconds of the 9th round. 2 minutes, 28 seconds of the 9th round. The winner by a technical knockout, Sugar Ray Leonard.
And you can see a very angry Kevin Howard, and I think with good reason. Kevin Howard lost this fight. He didn't lose it on heart, I'll tell you that. He was there, and he was in Sugar Ray Leonard's face this entire fight. Right now, let's go to Larry Merchant, who was in the ring with Sugar Ray Leonard.
Ray, you won it, but I imagine it was more of a fight than you expected.
It was, Larry. In fact, I was so surprised to be knocked down for the very first time in my professional career. The crowd is somewhat upset, I guess because it was such a gallant showing by Kevin Howard. I guess it's evident that the ring rust of 2 years did show was evident, but I still feel good that I was able to come on strong in the later rounds.
Do you feel that the referee perhaps anticipated a knockdown and that he could have waited, given the fact that Howard had fought so courageously and well, and that he was still upright?
Well, I guess it's in the judgment of the referee himself to maintain safety. Quite naturally, Kevin Howard has always been, well, put in trouble in the early rounds and has come back very strong. I was very impressed with the fact that he was hurt and he held on. He did the right thing.
Were you embarrassed or humiliated to find yourself on the seat of your pants?
Not embarrassed. More so surprised, Larry. I've never been knocked out in my professional career, and I guess what a way to do it in my very first comeback.
Well, did you think at that point that you had a chance to blow this?
Yes. Well, when I went down, it was more of a surprise knockdown. I wasn't hurt, but it was a flash knockdown. In fact, I don't know, I bruised my left side, my hip. I'm going to have it examined because that eliminated my
Let's
mobility.
take a look here and then watch this action and describe it, Ray. You're back to your real role as a commentator.
Well, here I am. I'm pretty much moving. I'm throwing a jab. And then what I did, I threw a lazy left jab, and he countered. It looks very unusual for me to be on my backside. I like to see a little bit more there.
It seemed, let's take another look at it from another angle and give us it once more. It seemed that you were at that point that you felt you had it measured and you were ready to move in for a kill.
Well, I was in control. Now, you see, I'm doing pretty much what I want to do. I'm boxing, I'm throwing my left jab, and watch it come out, and it just relax. And you'll see how it counter, come over, bam. Solid left or solid right hand. Look at my face.
It looked at the end of that round that you sort of tipped your hat to him and said, okay, you got me.
Oh, I tipped my hat indeed because it was a very good shot. I've never been hit like that before, especially knocked down.
How would you assess on a scale of 1 to 10 this comeback?
Well, as far as my determination, I'll put it in 10. But as far as my actual ability, it's a low figure. I'm pleased with the fact I won the fight, Larry, but I'm not totally pleased with my actual performance.
What displeased you? How would you describe ring rust? Well, the fact I could not master like I wanted to. In fact, I was somewhat reluctant. It was really a strange feeling in there, and I'll be the first one to say that I was somewhat reluctant to punch and get hit. I guess you stated earlier that that will be evident in the fight. But as the rounds progressed, Larry, I felt better and better in control. One last question. How will this fight affect your decision on whom you will fight in your next fight? A Hagler, a Pryor? Just what will this mean? Do you need another fight before you can go against someone like that? Well, I don't know for sure. I'm going to go home and sit back and watch this fight over in a much more relaxed atmosphere. Thank you so much, Ray. And now back to Barry Tompkins at ringside. Thanks, love.
We're going to bring Howard. Here's the middleweight champion of the world, the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, and I have to say that if in fact they had a popularity contest here tonight, here's the man who would have won it. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, the undisputed middleweight champion of the world. Let me ask you your reaction to the fight. We were talking a moment ago, and you were saying you also did not feel that they should have stopped the fight when they did.
I didn't feel as though they should have, behind the fact that sometimes a fighter can get hurt with one hard blow and get hit again with another hard blow and bring him right back into his senses again. I felt as though the guy was doing the best thing that he did was try to hold and grab on, and the referee still gave him a little bit of consider letting him do this and see if he can pull out of himself. Generally, there was a time barrier in here because he still had time.
Generally speaking, your opinion of how you felt Sugar Ray Leonard looked in his comeback?
Well, he did have a little rust in there, but I think he came in a little bit too overconfident with this Kevin Howard. As you know, Kevin Howard don't have the best record in the world, and plus by Ray putting him on ice for about a year and a half without fighting anybody, Ray knew what he had in front of him. But again, that's what caused that knockdown, because Ray got a little bit too careless in there, and some things happen. It only takes one good punch like that to put your lights out.
We were speculating earlier that while we had a shot of you, that you were thinking it would have been better for Marvelous Marvin Hagler had Sugar Ray Leonard have won very impressively, perhaps an early knockout.
Well, I think it's a bad mistake on Kevin Howard's part because he had Ray in trouble and he should have tested him to see how far in serious hurt that he was. But I felt as though that Kevin still did a great job and still deserves a big hand because, hey, Ray has got the popularity and everything else, and he's a great showmanship for the game of boxing.
All right, Marvin, if you would stay with us, we're going to go back to the ring right now. Larry Merchant is with Kevin Howard. Larry?
He was hurt more than me. Kevin, what happened? Why did they stop the fight?
They stopped it because I was ahead on the card, and they knew the only way to get it was to take that ninth round. My corner told me to take the 2 rounds that was left, and I was taking it. And he knew the only way he was going to get it was by what they did. Knock me down and didn't think I was hurt. He wasn't hurting me. I hurted him.
You did hurt him, but you did appear hurt at the end, didn't you?
He hit me with a good shot, and that was it. I knew how to protect myself. That's why I was grabbing him. And when I grabbed him and broke a loose, he threw a flurry and they going to cut him in. I knew I beat him. I know I was ahead on the card.
You didn't appear to be awed by him at all.
No, I wasn't. Nothing that man got could intimidate me. He tried to hit me with everything. I got under and I counterpunched. That's why I knocked him down in the 4th round.
Kevin, where do you go from here?
Well, I don't know right now. I don't know.
Do you feel that you gave your best effort, that you took advantage of a great opportunity?
I was winning the fight.
Beat the great
I know the referees had me ahead. I know it. Only way they was going to get is by what they just did. One more round, and he would have lost by decision. And I know it.
Thank you, Kevin. Back to Barry Tompkins again.
Okay, thank you very much, Larry Merchant. I don't think there's any question as to the fact that Kevin Howard thought he was going to win the fight. We were trying, incidentally, to get the judges' cards up to this point, and if we do, before we get off the air, we will certainly let you know just how all of that came out and just what the judges were thinking. Coming over to join us right now, another guy who would like to get a little piece of Sugar Ray Leonard. He is Aaron Pryor. And Aaron, let me ask you what your impressions were tonight. It was obviously a little bit of a rusty Sugar Ray Leonard that we saw.
Yes, it was. Leonard had the same momentum, the same style, the same charisma that he's always had in the past, but he didn't have the punching power. He didn't have the legs, and he looked like he could get it. You know, it was just one of those fights where he'd been off for a long while that maybe he shouldn't have took.
People were saying before this fight that Sugar Ray Leonard was perhaps looking a little bit more heavy-handed now than he was before. What was your impression? Did you see his punches being any harder than they were?
No, I didn't. I didn't see that. I didn't see what Leonard had left in boxing before he exited because of his injuries. I saw Leonard having the same charisma, the same motivation. But tonight when he got hit and hurt, I saw something in his face that I never seen before. And I pray and hope that, you know, if I get a chance to fight him, that the referee could come in like he did with Kevin tonight. He did catch Kevin with a few punches. A lot of people felt that he could have waited a few more punches before he stopped the fight. But again, Leonard was hurt in the same position tonight. The referee could have made the same decision. So it's one of those fights that was controversial. But Leonard, I think, was leading the fight, and it was a good fight for him.
There has been a lot of talk that Sugar Ray Leonard will bypass everybody else, go directly to Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Where does that put Aaron Pryor?
Well, my manager is standing beside me, and I tell you, I've been negotiating with Leonard almost every other day, him and his attorney, Mike Trainer. They want to fight us in September. I believe that the same thing is being used in the fight with me that's been broadcast a lot about Mancini. But Leonard is the one that's been negotiating more than even Mancini at this time.
He was 149 tonight, said he felt very comfortable at 149. There was some talk he was going to come in around 152. Does that weight difference between you and he bother you at all?
No, I mean, you know, I'm the light welterweight champion of the world, and weighing 140 is the limit, and I'm always about 148, 49 to work down to 140. And naturally, I feel good at that weight. But and Leonard probably is always 54, working down to 147.
So a welterweight fight would be a natural weight.
It really would be. And I got to say, you know, Leonard, he really tried hard to give the people what they wanted, and he just didn't have it like he's had it in the past. But I feel that if I get the chance to fight him, that he will try harder to get it together the next one.
Let's take a look at the end of the fight. Watch it with us, Aaron Pryor, if you would. How did you see this? Did you think it was a little immature or a little quicker than it should have been?
Normally, when Leonard hit him with that first left hook, normally Leonard, when they came back with the same left hook, he would have had another punch from another angle. But Leonard, I know, I was his sparring partner for 5 years. Right now, I don't think that the referee at this time should have stopped the fight. He could have gave the guy a considerable 8 count. He could, because the guy was holding on, he could have warned the guy for holding. He could have done anything but stop the fight.
Since I think you beat Alexis Arguello on 2 occasions, that is when all the talk started about Aaron Pryor and Sugar Ray Leonard. But you and Sugar Ray Leonard go back a long time before Alexis Arguello.
Yes, we do, and that's why it would be a magnificent fight if we fought. But I would have fought Leonard before he was off 2 years because, the fight didn't come off, but I would have really liked to have fought him then.
All right, Aaron Pryor, I'd love to see you and Sugar Ray Leonard in the ring. I'm sure he would too. I know you would very much. It'd be a great go.
All right, listen, thank you so much, and it's Hawk time again, as I've always said, Hawk time. But
it is, in fact.
Thank you.
Somehow they don't believe me when I do that. You ever notice that?
Well, they didn't believe me till after the fight.
You made it work. Let's go up to the ring once more. Final comments from Larry Mercer.
I have a few thoughts about this. The first is we try to get the referee to explain his decision at the end of the fight, but he had gone. The other thoughts are there's a certain kind of justice in what we just saw. This isn't that easy a game. People forget that, well, we showed you that Sugar Ray Robinson stopped Joe Rindoni in the 6th round of his first fight of a comeback. He actually lost the second fight to Tiger Jones. It was several fights after that he got an opportunity to win the middleweight championship again. I think this is a very good fight for Sugar Ray Leonard to assess where he is. Another thought I have is this afternoon at the motel where Ray Leonard is staying, across the street there was a church, and at noon they were chiming out Amazing Grace, and I thought, well, they're playing Sugar Ray Leonard's song. Maybe. The Amazing Grace wasn't all there. It ain't that easy. Barry?